We were a little bit late coming back from lunch because our credit card got stolen. And then somebody charged a bunch of $59 charges on it. It's 7 minutes, EJ. You are in a bad mood. Jesus Christ. We got a ton of $59 scam charges, and Tom's in there using his superpower of patience to talk. I don't know how you fucking do that. Just listening to you do that makes me want to, come on, hurry up. But you just calmly, yes. I'm sorry, let me, and then you're like, yes, right here, I see the charge, here's the charge. But you're very calm. I just want to start screaming, why are you so stupid? Why did you allow this to happen? Oh, hold on. There you go. Sorry. It's not their fault. You're right.
The lady answered the phone.
She's nice, probably. You get a sweet lady?
I always feel bad for them.
Did you get a man or woman?
Seems like the absolute worst. I guess not the absolute worst, but...
No. If I had to do it as a job, I'd be really good at it. I'm a chirper, and I like helping people. So if it were my job, I'd be good at it.
Yeah, it's just soul-sucking in the fact that you're sitting... I hear other people in the background, like, so she's in some sort of call center, like customer service.
It's your mindset. You would have to, and I think I could do this, you would have to get the value out of when you did help somebody...
You'd have to be like...
You'd have to, like, wow them, and then you'd be like, I'm better than anyone else in this room.
Yeah.
That's how I'd have to do it.
It just seems like you're getting so many confused people that don't understand what they're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, it's old people.
And then the scam charges, and then you're getting scammers disputing their own charges because they're bad at life.
How can the same man get confused about a signal tech and then do this? He's cracking the whip. How do you do that? How could the same person do that? What is that? How do you do that? It's crazy, right?
It is.
Although he doesn't do that. He doesn't really get... he's getting there, though. Little older than I can remember. But you're 101 years old, by God.
I mean,
Kupo nailed it. Yeah, it's muscle memory. Dude's been cracking a whip for 101 years. You know, he's been cracking a whip for 80 years. 80 years of cracking a whip. What? That's pretty cool. Good, EJ. I'm glad, buddy. Well, we're glad you guys are back with us. We're going to do a little weird job now.
Hey, what's going on?
My allergies are crazy.
I'm gonna put you on hold and then
beard.
We'll do a weird job.
Check out this beard. It's getting there. Haven't had it this long in a minute.
You want to, because you have a couple to choose from, so I'll just let you choose.
We've never done that before. Dealer's choice. We've never done that. Okay, oh, you don't need to type it, dude. That's your business. I'm just glad you figured it out.
Put you on hold. Hold on 1 second.
Sometimes I can't figure out why I'm pissy. So I'll just tell Andrea and Maisie, I'll be like, I'm just pissed off. I don't know why. You ever get pissed off for you don't know why?
Yeah, being in bad moods.
Yeah.
And
you're like, I don't know what it is. And then sometimes it's as simple as like you were just like really thirsty.
The thing is,
there's a thing for that, right? Isn't there like a checklist for that? Food, drink, sleep.
I won't even outwardly show anything. And I'll just be standing in the kitchen. Crystal's like, why are you so angry today?
Yeah, she can tell.
She
can tell. She knows you better than anyone.
I'm just standing there in the kitchen, poker face.
You're transmitting, though. You're transmitting.
Well, that's what she says. She's like, I feel your energy. And I'm like,
I'm with her 100%.
But I'm like, that first, that's impossible.
Team Crystal. It's not. Team Crystal.
It's impossible.
No, it's not. I'm Team Crystal.
There is no energy.
There's nothing but energy.
Energy doesn't exist.
Hold on, that's hilarious. What line's he on?
1.
Hey, Adam, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Awesome, buddy. Hey, thanks again, man, for being so patient. I was just talking about patience is my 2025. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. All right, hold on 1 second, man. I made you a special song, so hold on. All right, here we go. Would you like to start?
Yeah.
And this is a beginning, correct?
Yeah, we'll do it as a beginning.
Okay, here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube, and I'm laughing because the chat room is very, very funny. And you can be a part of that chat room. Just head over to twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, or you can search YouTube Tom and Dan Live at Tom and Dan Live. We broadcast every single workday for 5 hours or so, 3 hours or so, and we'd love to have you be there. So like and subscribe wherever you watch your podcasts.
So it's Wednesday.
Yeah, ma'am.
So let's do a little weird job.
I made a new one. The man that we're talking to, I believe he likes the metal. He's a bit of a heavy metal man.
Yeah.
And I started playing around with like real metal like he likes, but it wasn't coming out good enough like where you could actually hear the vocals. So I took a step back in time and did a little bit of an 80s sort of a hair metal version. We don't do enough of these. This is Weird Job Wednesday.
It was wild, it was grand. Weird Job Wednesday, yeah, the talk of the land. Dan raised his fist, said, man, that's legit. But Tom shook his head, said, that's total bullshit. Oh, just another Weird Job Wednesday. Turn it up, let it rock, let it play. Yeah, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Crank the amp, screaming loud all the way.
There you go. It's Weird Job Wednesday. Weird Job Wednesday.
When you're writing the lyrics, you can save yourself some work by not putting the cursor on it.
It's not. It's not as good. It's not as good when you beep it ahead of time. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. You gotta let the energy. It all comes back to energy, man. Comes back to what we were talking about. The energy, when you beep it, it's a different energy. You gotta have that original S word energy.
Energy isn't real. Just like birds. Make that sticker. So on the line with us right now, he's been a listener for a while. Adam, how you doing, Adam?
Doing good. And I started out with hair metal, so I love that.
Okay, well, hey, we're glad to have you, man. Thanks so much for being here. Welcome to Weird Job Wednesday. Now, this is the first time Tom's ever done this. I don't believe you've ever done this, where this is like either you're a genius or lazy because you did Dealer's Choice. We've never done a Weird Job Dealer's Choice.
Adam told us he has had a bunch of different jobs.
Bunches.
But a lot of them are pretty interesting and good for Weird Job. One being a parade, what would you call it? Manager, parade associate? I don't know. Around the parade industry.
That one looks really hard.
During the parade, I'm the spotter, and that really evolved from when we used to live broadcast it on television. And so my job is to make sure to relay the order of what's going on because it kind of changes sometimes, and relay that so that the MC isn't saying, hey, this is Girl Scout troop, whatever, and it's actually Boy Scout troop something else, or, a restaurant or something. And so that was my original job, along with keeping the gaps set correctly and keeping people safe by keeping them off the streets.
Mind the gap?
Yeah. But I also do the map and everything. I've been on the committee for the Winter Park Christmas Parade for 20 years now. This was my 20th.
He was being yelled at. I saw him. I may or may not have saw him allegedly. I don't like to, I was hiding in the crowd. This man was being yelled at by every bougie jerk Winter Park mom you've ever seen. They were all breaking the rules.
What are they yelling at him for?
They're all breaking the rules. You're not supposed to be in the street of the parade because you have sheriff service vehicles, a SWAT team driving down the tanks and you got kids jumping for peppermints, and these vapid douchebag Winter Park moms are yelling at him as he's walking. He's like, guys, you please get back. You could get killed. And they're like, F you. Just don't
My
care.
kid likes the candy.
Yeah, my kid does what we're rich. We do what we want.
I like that. Yeah.
Like, Adam, am I lying?
No. They are. It's very challenging. They actually, one of them.
No, he is nothing but polite. I want to reiterate that he is nothing but polite, but the people are bristly with him, not cool.
They made my daughter cry, actually. My daughter has been doing it with me. She's been to every one since she's been alive. I've either carried her at the end or whatever, but even though she had a big thing that day, it was a long day for her, she had to go to another parade and be in it. But that they made her, a lady made her cry. She comes up to me crying, what's going on? So I went over there, And then when I have to, I just go and get one of Winter Park's finest to come over there and explain it to them. So
it does make it. I noticed that you walked by, that's true. He walked by.
Who makes a little girl cry because she's trying to?
I'm not kidding you, Tom. I'll tell you what I saw. He walked by, Adam walked by, and he's everybody back. Hey, get back. He's limited, right? You're not going to get into a pissing match with these people. And then when the cop came by, everybody respected it, and they had some big giant cop walk by and go, "Hey, you got to get back. You got to get back." They don't care, man.
Yeah.
They don't care.
You need a gun, Adam. I feel like that's where they listen to you if you have a gun.
And it was a great parade. I mean, you had a ton of entries, man. Well done. It was a good one. I like a parade.
Yeah, I've been fine-tuning, and I'm the main, not the only one, certainly. Lots of input from the other people on the committee. As it stands now, I'm about the longest-serving person left on it because
That's
our
cool.
chair retired and things, and I've just been doing it a long time. But I'm the one that does most of the layout of the parade, trying to keep it so it's not all a bunch of walkers, keep the bands separate from each other, and things like that. It takes a little bit of logistics, but we start in usually about August is where we very first start setting up the parade.
So, Adam, I know this is not your particular job, but let's talk about the business of a parade.
I've always, look, I have to say this. Can I say this?
Who does it benefit?
Well,
What
it
is
would benefit us. I have begged you since the inception of our incorporation of T&D Media for us to get at Christmas. I want us to get OK Plumbing van and pretend to be the Wet Bandits.
Yeah.
In
You
a Christmas,
mentioned
I've
this,
always wanted to be in a Christmas parade. Tom and Dan, that's the sign of a successful business when you're in a parade.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I agree.
I
agree.
It's the pinnacle of success. I feel
because all I see is a bunch of Mustang clubs and Jeep clubs
Yeah.
and
You got
random
some politicians in there waving.
Yeah.
You got the comptroller.
But,
you got to get
would
a couple comptrollers in there.
They all pay to be in it. There's an entry fee, and then we have sponsors flagship sponsors, what are different sponsorship levels, and those sponsors pay in like a lot of money, and it goes to raise money for the Chamber of Commerce certainly, but it also promotes them. They're basically, it's kind of like what you guys do. They are paying for advertising. And they hand out candy and press the flesh.
We are the parade of podcasts.
There you go.
We give out candy.
So do you tell them how many people are expected at the parade, because that's part of the advertising, right? And how many people go to the Winter Park Parade, Christmas parade?
It depends. It's varied. Obviously, the COVID years, we had some smaller years there, but in general, I believe the count, it's at least 10,000 people. I know that.
The COVID years are the best years. I liked them down there. It was just me. It's like 40 people down there.
Yeah, it was, and we stretched it out.
I'm down there, no mask, just living my best life.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
We did, for a couple years there, the Winter Park Police Department did not want to go the way we go. We go down Park Avenue, we go south, and then we take a left. And they wanted to stop doing that because it was kind of a little bit of a boggle to get people out there, and there was construction going on. So they had us go right and go across the train tracks. So for 3 years there, we had to stop and wait because there's a train that comes through during the parade, and we had to stop the whole parade, wait, and then once the train left, then restart the parade. Make sure that we're safely crossing the tracks and everything. It was a nightmare, and thankfully this year they said, no, let's go back to the old way. And we're like, yay! So that's what we've been doing. You'd be surprised. I've learned a lot about it. There's a lot of planning that goes into this thing on terms of the city, the merchants, the residents. Everybody has to know, hey, there's this big thing going on.
Yeah, there's a lot that could go wrong, which is maybe one of the reasons why I like it. I gravitate to it. Not because I want to see you get a hard time, which is what I was watching that particular day. But no, it's good. Like, you guys do a really nice job, and it's big. That thing lasts. It lasts for a long time, man. You can definitely get your medical marijuana's worth if you toot up and sit for that parade. That's a good one.
It's about an hour and a half. We start promptly at 9, and we're usually done almost exactly at 10:30.
It's about the length of Moana. Nailed it.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have the first person in the parade? Do they act like a pacer? And what's the standard speed of a parade? Ooh. Like, are we talking 2 miles an hour? 3 miles an hour? What are we talking here?
Probably it's no more than about 5. And the pace really gets set. It kind of can vary with ours. It really gets set by the marchers. Now, there's marching bands and color guard for the sheriff's department.
Ooh, you can't
and
say
things
that
like
anymore. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to hang up on this call.
No, it's the flag.
I know.
Oh, the honor guard. I'm sorry. Yes, they're called
thank
the
you.
honor
Thank you.
guard.
Call them honor guard.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's better.
My daughter's in color guard, so I
God,
confused.
we have the same fountains now, Adam.
Yes. They really do kind of set the pace because we have to kind of start and stop as they do a little bit and keep with them. But that's really one of the main things. I'm kind of juggling a lot of things. You see me there with 2 different radios and with the clipboard and everything. And that's really the main thing that I'm doing is taking notes on things that went right or wrong as I go, making sure to keep the gap set to the 3 car length gap between the back of one thing and the front of another, and making sure that people stay with them. I say the same things to the entrants over and over. Maintain their speed, start and stop when they do, and then just keep going. And it kind of naturally flows that way.
Adam, can you deny someone access to the parade?
Oh, especially now with the way things are now. You can deny anybody anything.
Well,
this is a right to work state.
No, what I'm saying is that, say I just want to...
No more Mustang clubs. We're Jeep only. Good day.
What if I just wanted to waste my own money and drive my standard...
No, you have to be unique. I'm sorry.
Toyota Corolla in the parade. I just want to drive and the windows up and promoting nothing. I just want to be in the parade.
No, you want to drive
I'll pay.
windows up, but you're smoking. But you're smoking 1 cigarette.
I'll pay to be in there and pay whatever the parade fee.
But I don't want anyone looking at me. I want them to look away as I'm driving.
Have you ever had someone this?
Yeah,
this,
private rider.
Or that's not so flashy and doesn't add anything, and you're just well, you can't. We need some more pizzazz. You can't just.
Is that the first time you've ever said that word? I think that might be the first time that's ever graced your tongue.
Or is that insane and no one's ever?
You're definitely a less than 3 times pizzazz man.
There is an application process, and I'm pretty sure if it was somebody with just a plain vehicle and said, no, I'm not promoting anything, just me and my dog driving down the road.
I like that.
I think they would probably deny that because we do have only so much space.
But my dog is, my dog is trans. Just to make him laugh. I just trying to make him laugh.
We do have an entry in the parade that is the Orlando Pride, and they're wonderful. They're excellent to deal with.
Yeah, they're champions.
Yeah, or it might be Winter Park Pride actually, but it's a Pride group, and they come in there and they march. And I had them next to some Girl Scouts, and I was asked, just in case, maybe we should separate them in case someone from this Girl Scout crew from a church complains. And so we decided to separate.
That's the thing. That's the thing that you're fighting, Adam, is that people love to complain about everything.
They do, and we really try to truncate that right at the beginning.
You got to get in front of it. Yeah, just try to make it so everybody can parade with limited, grumpy face.
So Adam, there's some scientific experiment about traffic where they did this, I forgot where, but they had this huge roundabout and they just put cars going the same speed, and eventually through micro differences in speed, it started creating traffic backups for no really apparent reason, just because one car stopped a little bit, we're going a little faster, and all of a sudden now you had backups and huge gaps, and it was just explaining how traffic naturally happens with human drivers. I think it's partly because they're showing with automation and computer-driven drivers, it would eliminate a lot of this. And so I imagine that with a long enough parade, there's going to be a snake-like effect and create big gaps that you don't want in the parade, because that all of a sudden, and so how do you account for that?
Well, what I do is I get out there and I stand in the middle and I start waving my clipboard, going, "Come on, come on, come on!"
Yeah, he walks in. Yeah, he was doing. Yeah, that was the other thing he was doing.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you that. Other than just people yelling at him because they wanted to dive under vehicles for candy, worthless candy, by the way. I'm talking peppermint, like peppermints.
Yeah,
It's not good candy.
Lollipop.
They're not diving for Reese cups. They're diving for peppermints. But no, the other thing that he would do is that you would see him walking it, constantly massaging the length of it, bringing this person up, making this person slow down, making this person stop. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And how many of you are walking at the same time?
You mean walking along and doing this?
Yeah.
It's me, my daughter now, the last few years, and whatever volunteers I get. And
Gotcha.
that's one of the good things about talking about it like this is, we're always looking for volunteers, and a lot of kids in
I
high
put Tom's
school,
name in there. I threw.
there you go, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Observant.
But a lot of high school kids is what I get. The problem is somebody has to not be afraid to say to someone, hey, you got to do this, that, the other. But then they also have to listen to them. They go, oh, it's just some
Assertiveness.
kid. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's difficult. I would almost rather have, adults. I know BDMs would do a great job, hint, hint.
Yeah.
But
I'll
it's
get out there. I'll yell
basically
at some people
me.
for you. Get the hell out of here.
I will only volunteer to do things if you pay me. So
Oh.
that's my
Okay.
rule.
I like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
The
what do you
whole
want me to
thing
do?
about
I'll
volunteering.
volunteer for this. You have to pay me for it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my only stipulation. If you pay me,
that's-
I'll volunteer to do anything.
How
And
do you
that's the
feel
thing.
about? Go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
I was going to say, and that's the thing. This is the weird jobs that I suggested. I have a couple of different volunteer things that I do. This, and then I'm also a docent at the Central Florida Zoo. But it's not my real job. I don't get paid for any of these things. I get paid to do my boring job, which is, I do structural engineering drawings. I'm the senior CAD technician at an engineering firm.
Oh, so you have like a
And
real
so-
job? I thought you were a zoo dum-dum.
No.
Oh, my
no.
God. For the longest
No.
time, I thought you were just an idiot zoo
No.
dum-dum.
You're in my phone. It's
Oh,
You're
My
crumbling
degree-
my world.
Oh, my God. Like, you're smart? I didn't know you were smart. I was like, look at the way this guy dresses. He's
Yeah.
a zoo idiot.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher at the zoo.
What?
I'm actually a teacher there. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
I
a volunteer
hold
teacher.
on.
I had
but I do it
kangaroo
for
dum dum.
They said, man, he'll do great with the monkey.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So,
Oh, God, you learn something every day.
last parade question, then we'll let's go over to the zoo volunteer.
Okay.
So with the parade, is there anything that's happened that
He
like
may not be able to talk about that. Might be in current litigation.
so a vehicle's broken down?
Oh, yeah.
or,
Sheriff Mina rolled over an infant in the...
or anything happened when you were doing this parade?
We this year we did have one car that was overheating and we had to get out of there, and I got off on a side street.
Oddly enough, it was the original, Sam's original Ford Ranger, the Tom and Dan truck.
Well, we have a rule, and it's dictated, again, by the police department. They don't want people to throw candy from the floats, and the reason's because, for one, it hits people, and for another,
hold on,
when it
Adam,
lands.
hold on a second. It was nothing but candy flying.
Exactly. That was the big thing this year, and the best part about it was the police chief of Winter Park was throwing candy off his float.
Oh,
like, wait a minute,
my
wait.
God.
So
Yeah, he wrote the
apparently-
law, and he's like, I can't get no free will. I can't stop myself. I have to throw the candy.
Yeah, and it wasn't, it's not like end of the world as long as you're getting it out there. But when it falls short, the kids will run out and get it.
Yeah,
and
I like to
that's
throw
why
it in
we don't
front of
want
the
it.
vehicle. As
Yeah.
it's moving, I stand out of the sunroof and I launch it in front of the vehicle.
Test those kids' agility. But yeah, no, we try to get people we want them to actually walk at the sides and not, they don't have to hand it, they can kind of toss it, but they need to be within a couple of feet of the edge of the road. And so I was constantly going to floats, say, oh, no, you can't throw it off there, you got to come down. And everyone, to a person, was like, oh, okay, and they just got out and they did it. So there were no issues with that.
But it
But
isn't as
it's kind
fun.
of funny when you have the police chief doing it. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, but I will tell you, Adam, as a parade goer and as a person who does like parades, it's not as much fun to have a lady walk up to you and hand you a toothbrush with a small piece of candy attached to it. I'd rather catch the toothbrush with a small piece of candy attached. You know what I mean?
True.
Like when they
True.
walk up and they hand it to you, I'm like, why are you giving me this? I did nothing for this. I didn't earn this.
Oh, last question. How does a parade end? Is there a stage?
There's a hole in every, like right into the hole.
What?
And they can't stop.
Like when is it end in a big enough parking lot for everybody to
To kind of party and high five.
like, or do you just like go get out of here, go home? Like do they just drive
Go
away?
straight home. Go, go, go.
It does end near, it's by a parking lot, but it does end at a spot where it's prearranged where people disperse from there and go back to where they parked, or parents are picking up kids or whatever. That's one of the biggest challenges down there in downtown Winter Park. And it's a wonderful area. It's beautiful, but there's a lot of stuff. And we're doing this, and people are open for business and things like that. But we wrap around, we take a left and then wrap around, and we do have a spot where we let people out and people disperse.
I need more, not to complain, but you're on the line.
Mm-hmm.
A captive audience. I need more horses. I need more animals in the parade.
Oh, yeah. We've only got a few.
Only a few.
We used to have dogs. It was like lostdogs.com or something like that.
I want a bunch of lost dogs.
All they did was complain about how we can't be by this, we can't be by that. It's too loud. The dogs are scared, and we're finally just like, look, it's a parade, Yeah. So we kind of stopped having them in the parade.
Understand.
They kind of quit applying.
I get it. That makes sense. I appreciate the explanation.
I'm trying to do the math on how much money you could generate from a parade. And,
what's the entry fee, Adam?
I'm not 100%, but I want to say I think it's only like $75 or $150.
You guys got to raise that. You got to raise that up. You could do 200.
I think it's less for chamber members. Now, if their business is a member of the Winter Park Chamber of Commerce, then obviously, I think they might get a discount. But then the sponsors pay the big.
We need to get in, dude. We need to get in these parades.
Well,
I'm telling you.
We need some sort of wacky vehicle.
We
need something.
You need to get Sam to get that truck back.
No, that's ship has sailed. What about Skunk Man, the guy that drives a skunk car around town? What if he let us borrow his skunk car to drive it around? Right?
Have a skunky Christmas.
Yeah, we need something. Some kind of like a Wienermobile or something. We'll find something.
I don't want to ruin your business here, Adam, but I've never seen someone in a parade and like, I'm going to use that business. They're in this parade.
Oh, I have. Many times. In fact, many of the small businesses I use to this day have come from parade.
So
I think
my
it's
phone
just
book,
more getting the name out there, and I agree. I don't always understand the concept of that kind of advertising.
Adam, what's falling on deaf ears with Tom is that he does not believe in the perceived connection to the community. I feel like when you're in the parade, people see that and go like, these are the people that are the pillars. These are the luminaries. These are the people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're not in the parade, who are you? What are you even doing for Winter Park?
A good example of one of the companies that's in the parade is Jeremiah's.
Oh, he was in the parade, and he gave my wife a bunch of coupons, almost as if they had kissed before.
Yep. They hand out coupons.
I mean, he couponed her bad, dude. Like, he walked up, he's giving coupons to all the kids, and he walks up to Andrea, the real Jeremiah, which we've known for forever, he handed Andrea like 30 coupons. I mean, you have kissed.
Yep, and that's a good example. They're out there, and hey, here's a free sample if you've never tried it or whatever the case is, and like you said, people see, this is bougie. This is the Winter Park Christmas parade.
I got 6 toothbrushes, man.
70-something one. Yeah.
Oral-B. They're Oral-B. They weren't even like the BS ones. They're the good ones.
So let's say you get 100 people paying $100 in the parade. That's $10,000. Each advertising, you want to be a sponsor, 2,500, 5,000. I'm
you
guessing
have tiers. You have a 2,500, 1,000, and 500.
Yeah,
That's 750. Let's go 750.
But let's say you get 20,000 in sponsors, 30,000. The police charge you. That's like
that's expensive.
$5,000 in cops, and then
you
the street closures, barricades.
Barricades are expensive.
Yeah. Seems like
you got to rent the radios; those are expensive.
Yeah. Then you get
I don't
volunteers.
know if the police charge. I can find out. I'm not 100%
Adam,
sure.
think about what you're saying.
yeah.
Think about. I'm not trying to get you into trouble.
Let's say
think about what you're saying.
Let's say I was a cop. You think I'm doing this for free?
You look like a cop.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to be a cop.
You are a cop.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many opportunities.
You are a cop.
And you're like, hey, come out here and protect the Winter Park Parade. I'm gonna say, well,
yeah. What are you doing for me?
I mean,
I want you to protect these nuts.
I need I need double time because that's the standard.
Oh, yeah.
And then
you're paying me for a holiday. It's time and a half.
Yeah. Holiday.
Triple pay.
Yeah. So I'm making like $180 an hour to sit in my squad car and eat
I'm
Chick-fil-A.
I'm doing nothing. All I'm gonna do when the kid gets run over is radio for help. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. You know, like I'll put my hood up. I'll eat some Chick-fil-A. I'm scrolling Bovada. I'll get out. I'm wearing a Santa hat. My wife gave me.
Yeah, you just do a little bit of. You get that cone. You know the flashlight with the orange thing on it. You're like, hey, come on, keep it moving, keep it moving.
You're paying
magic
me.
wand.
You're paying me like $780 for the night. You know, so that's coming out of the you know.
And then when I
bottom
go
line.
home, the sad thing is when I go home, I slap everybody around. Can't help myself. No free will.
Yeah.
Choices were already made.
Well, I'm angry. I'm drunk too.
You hitched yourself to the angriest wagon.
Yeah. Then I'll take my gun out and do that move where I sit on the side table and then
It's passive. It's a passive aggressive threat.
the whole family's just looking.
And I
at
regret I even did it.
Yeah.
So let's end real quick with this, Adam. So you've been a docent, which I've learned from the Orange County Regional History Center that the new director that is basically a fancy word for intern.
Yeah. Well, you give tours. You give tours and stuff.
It
right?
really comes from the Latin for volunteer teacher is what a docent is, and they're found at museums, zoos, and places like that where basically you're like your tour guides at museums and everything. Most of those are volunteers because those kinds of places can't afford to pay a ton of people. Now, we do have zoo teachers that are on the payroll there that they pay, but then you can be a volunteer. There's lots of volunteer opportunities at the zoo because it's a non-for-profit organization, and as you guys know, it's a very it's a little bit smaller. It's not like the National Zoo or something, and it's just a wonderful place with wonderful people, and so I got into it. My mother actually did it many years ago.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's cool that she sort of passed on like a love for animals, or at least helping out to you. Like, when was your first interaction with the zoo? When did you start?
I've been doing it for 8 years. My 8-year anniversary of my first graduation, because there's 2 parts to the course, but my graduation and becoming a docent was October 1st of 24. So I've been there since 2016.
Oh, wow.
And I did it because my degree is actually in animal biology, and I was a veterinary technician, and I specialized and became a veterinary radiographer for years. And then I was on disability for a few years and had to kind of choose a new career, as it were, and stumbled into what I do now. But just having worked with animals ever since I was young and all my life, I really wanted to do something. And then I remembered my mom did that, and I saw something somewhere, and so I applied, and that's my happy place. If you ever go on one of the night hikes, they have them in March, June, and September, the big public night hikes that we do 3 times a year. I'm always at them unless there's some reason I'm out of town. That's my main thing now, has been the night hikes and snoozes and things like that.
What's a night hike? Will you go to the zoo at night?
You're really gonna ask
Yeah.
that? You're really gonna ask
Yeah.
Hey, what's a night hike?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if is there anything more than just,
I feel like
hey,
you
we're
just tap
opening
me
this
on
place
the
up at
shoulder.
night.
You literally just tap me on the shoulder. You're like, hey, what does name mean? And we're like taking our SATs.
Oh, no, get the hell out of here. It could mean something. Like,
Get the hell out of here.
Well,
What's a night hike?
well, you're calling it a night. Hey, what is this? Go to the zoo at night? It's just like,
Yeah.
we're open at night. Oh, just call it that.
No, yeah, it's an event. It's limited usually to about a max of about 100 or so people, give or take, and it does sell out most of the time. And basically, that's what they do is we lead you around the zoo at night. We take flashlights, put red cellophane on them if you don't have a red one, so that it doesn't bother the animal's eyes. And we look at all the nocturnal animals that are, a lot of those nocturnal animals, they are there during the day and you see them, but they're really lazy. They really move around and do a lot more because nighttime's the right time for them.
When I got a military flashlight from
My God.
Javier's outside. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Look at the weed eater literally at our window. He's like, he's revving the engine.
He's just standing there. I'm looking at you, dude.
There's only a 6-foot square of grass out there. It's not that much.
And it's covered in dog crap. There's no grass there.
Just
Why don't
weed
you
eating the
weed
doo-doo?
eat the dog crap off our grass? For Christ's sake. Well, when I was a kid, I got that tiny flashlight it's shaped like an L. You hold it like a can of soda, and and like I bought one of those at the Army Navy store, and it had a red lens on it. Like it had like a red lens
Yeah.
you could put on the flashlight. And I remember thinking, this is the color of light you use when you kill terrorists. That's what I thought as a kid. I remember that's what I thought. I was like, this is what they can't see terrorists, can't see red. That's how stupid I was as a child.
Yeah, that's just one of the things that I do. But I we have it's a pretty intensive course to get in. You have to pass it with 80% or higher, and but there's other volunteer opportunities too. I highly encourage anybody listening that's interested in doing any volunteer work at the zoo. The people that are there when people feed the giraffes or go see the bears out at the bear house. Things like that. We have different positions there, and even what we call the teen team. And there's kids that are out there, and they get volunteer hours doing that as well. And
That's
I
important,
highly
too.
encourage them to go to the website,
Like-
centralfloridazoo.org. I highly encourage them to look
I'm
at
glad you said that about the volunteer hours. That is important, especially if you have like a young kid that wants to do like National Honor Society or stuff like
Bright
that.
Futures.
And Bright Futures as well.
IB.
Yeah, some of these scholarships that you're going to apply for, even if you do it like very, very early on, you do need, like Maisie did, National Honor Society, and you need volunteer hours. So actually, she was able to count picking up trash with the side chicks as an hour.
No, really.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, you can do, like, it does count. So it's good to know that the stuff he's talking about, because, like, I was talking to a parent over at Maisie's Dance yesterday, and she didn't really know, like, where you could pick up hours. And Andrea was kind of schooling the lady on, like, well, you can do this, you can do that, like, but yes, knowing that the Central Florida Zoo does that, or, Sanford Zoo does that, that's a big deal.
It turns
They
out
do.
that if you just sign, forge a signature and say like, oh yeah, these volunteer hours were completed,
it does work. Yeah.
no one will check.
Yeah, they will. Well, that's if you want no
Good.
lesson learned. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
It's
There is a quicker way.
There's 0% chance that any institution goes back
Yeah.
and calls
Just ask my resume.
individual places and are like, was Tom Van really here for night out? They'll never do it. Last
No.
question, Adam. If because I've always wondered when I'm at the Sanford Zoo and I see the rhino, I thought if I
You're like, what would happen if I blew weed smoke in its face?
if I jumped in the rhino enclosure and really started effing with it, would it?
What do you mean by Evan? What, you're slapping it with your hat?
Well, just like start, agitating
Throw
it.
some snap pops at it.
Like, will it ram kill me?
I love that. Ram
will it,
kill you.
Will
Yeah.
it horn me to death?
I think it's gonna horn you up, and then once you land on the ground, it's gonna beer can foot stomp you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, would it do
If
that?
you've ever seen what he does in his spare time, they give him big 55-gallon drum barrels that he just bangs around, flips up in the air, and tears apart. Rhinos are extremely territorial, and if he doesn't know you, like the keepers don't even really go in there with him like that. They have stalls and things to keep them safe, because you never know. The unpredictability of animals is a constant. And yeah, I think PJ, as nice as he is and as lazy as he seems, I think he would have his. It would be a matter of trying to save you. PJ will be fine, but
I
he
like
would,
to
he
tell
would
you-
definitely knock you around.
I like to tell you and the listeners when I'm feeling like things that are irrational, and I feel like I could go in there unscathed.
yeah.
And I feel like I could do whatever. I feel like I walk up to him and like pat him on the head, and then he goes to get me, and I feel like almost like a matador. I would just step to the side.
well,
I'm
every
pretty-
Effort, even with my hips the way that they are, I'm that confident.
well,
The good news is they don't see very well and extremely far. The bad news is because of that, they'll just charge what they see moving a lot of times.
Just
and-
like
and
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
That
pretty
guy.
much. I don't
Met him
think
one
he'd get
time.
super
Met him one
close.
time. He tackled me at Hard Rock Live.
well, Adam, thanks so much for being involved in
Yeah,
Weird
man.
Job Wednesday.
Thanks
today.
for being a good sport, buddy. You've listened
Oh,
to
yeah.
us and been a part of what we do for a very long time, and I hope you know how much we appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I love being a BDM, and, SFT to all the BDMs out there.
All right, buddy. SFT.
All right, man. See ya.
So yeah, what's funny is that I text Adam that I was gonna call him, and
He sent you a picture of his penis.
no, in November 26, 2017, Adam texts me a picture. This is when the last time we went to the zoo with the boys. Look how small the boys are. This is when I was fat and had my beard too.
Oh, I like you when you're fat with a beard.
Yeah,
Oh, you look like Kenny Rogers.
I'll show Twitch. And
There is a little bit of backlash. People did love Fat Tom. They did. They thought you were fun. You're laughing all the time. You had the high pitched laugh. You had a beard. That guy was fun.
No, that's what people remember. Okay? That they do this with all fat guys that lose weight. They're like, he was more fun fat.
Jonah Hill, like the Jonah Hill, thing.
Or anybody. Like and then it's like they're the same person. Nothing's changed.
I don't know. Jelly Roll lost 100 pounds, and he's changed to me.
I can't tell.
Seems like that was a joke.
It literally looks the same. All right, we will be right back.
All right, nice.
We'll just add another 10 minutes to that.
Yep.
And then now we'll just do 15.
Yeah, good job, buddy. ACT. He did a really nice job.
Yeah, it was good.
In about an hour. Go to my doctor's appointment.
Yeah, we just got 15 and we're done.
What's he doing out there? What are you doing?
He's just revving it up to max RPMs and just holding it.
You're destroying the machine. You can't weed eat a mat. You're weed eating our door.
You need to feather the trigger too. You just can't be.
Yeah. Have some
full.
Have a little elegant. Have some. What do they call that? Have some. What do they call that? Have some touch, man.
Yeah.
God damn, you have no touch.
Yeah. It's just. You're maxing out the RPMs.
Like you're fisting it. You gotta play with it a little bit. Stop fisting it. God damn.
He's back.
Kupo says he says you were fat because you weren't on amphetamines and the Adderall has fried your fun receptors.
I was on amphetamines back then. I don't even remember when I got them. When I started taking them.
I can't remember when I didn't smoke weed. As far as you asked me, I smoked it when I was little. No, I'm joking. Come on, man. I'm gonna ask him to leave. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna watch. Let's see if I can get him to go. Oh, he's over here.
He may be He may be done.
Oh, there he goes.
It does seem odd because it seems like once you weed eat the strip, you should move
You're
on.
done. Yeah,
Why is he coming back and forth?
He's killing time.
Yeah.
He's killing time. Like
we do this a little bit.
It's like that meme. I can't find it too. It's this little Mexican guy with a cowboy hat on, and all of the guys are lifting stuff, and he is literally just going in a circle around like he's doing stations, but all he does is like run up and like tries to help, run up, tries to help, run up, tries to help, and he just does it the whole time. It's awesome.
Let's talk about that. Like
looking busy.
I want to talk about working from home, and it just seems like no one can convince me that it's not the superior way to work.
You want to start?
Yeah.
And bring us back? Is this the 15 we need?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Hold on, the weed eating man's coming back. It's like he knew we started. It's like, oh, are they back on the air? I'm gonna walk right back to their window.
I feel like I'm going out there and be like, I see you wasting time.
Yeah.
Go waste time somewhere else.
Yeah, we have a weed eating man that we have. Okay, for those of you that don't know, if you listen to the show for a continuous amount of time, and he's a reoccurring character.
Yeah.
There's
Javier.
It's Javier, the weed eating man, and he will come by and he'll weed eat. But he weed eats for hours. Like it's a long weed eat.
He'll be back blowing soon with his blower, which is also loud.
It's very loud. But like he walks down in front of the studio and he weed eats the sidewalk. But it takes a solid 40 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
It doesn't make any sense because like 20 foot of sidewalk, it should be one
quick.
and done.
It's quick.
There and back, and you edged it and you move on. But you're right. It's a waste of time.
Did he die? And it's just maybe he died and he dropped the weed eater and it's just running.
Well,
Anyway, we'll continue.
this has to do with wasting time.
Yeah.
And so many people now have work from home jobs, right?
Yeah, and every other day there's a new story out there about like, will people go all back to the office? What are happening with offices? What's going to happen with people working at home?
I have seen people being forced to go back now, and they're
I'm
not
never
happy
going
about
back. I'm not ever going back.
it. And so and everybody I know that works from home, it seems like a better, more efficient way to have a job because you can do the work you need to get done, but also do anything else that you need to do for your life's
and
work.
masturbate.
And or anything else.
And
like
poop a lot.
And when you have a work at the office job, they essentially have you in the prison of the office
Right.
for 8 hours or whatever your workday is.
Well, it's to keep
and
you
you're
on,
stuck
it's
there.
to keep you on task, though.
Yeah.
Really, I think, right?
Now you could waste time there, which everybody has for generations.
I think I probably waste more time at an office than I do at home.
Yeah, but the time, I guess now with the internet, you could essentially do the same amount. Like the only real waste of time is the commute to work.
The drive, yeah.
So I guess when you're at your business address, as long as you have the computer connected to the internet, you can get everything else pretty much
So
done.
what's the big gripe? Is it I don't want you having something that I never had? Like what is or is it truly productivity? Because you do see, I'm not kidding, every day there's a new article out there about like, will everybody go back into the office? It's coming. But like, why? Why would it? Why?
Well, okay, so
because like for instance, Andrea, she doesn't go into an office. She works at home. It's all remote. But I would say that because she was afforded that luxury or given that gift of working at home,
Yeah.
her productivity is like slammed.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the way she thrives, right?
But she can get a lot else done too, and work because like no one works 100% of the time focused working on
It's impossible to
for
do
8
that.
hours
You should-
straight.
I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get your best stuff doing that. You're supposed to work in small increments and take breaks to free your brain of decision fatigue.
So I think the overall problem is when someone comes in the office, right? Okay, say I'm the boss,
Yeah.
right? And,
Well, you are, so use this as
and then we have an employee and that employee's in working in the other room,
Yeah.
right?
we had this.
I can't see him doing nothing.
Yeah.
I assume
Yeah.
that he's in there
It's
doing
awfully
nothing.
quiet in there.
Yeah.
It's awfully quiet in there.
But he's here, and that makes me feel like, well, at least he's here
Yeah.
at my beck and call, where I can scream, "Get in here!"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
or if you reminded him of a few things and he still didn't do it, you know you're still wasting his human time.
So, and then let's say he has a list of tasks that I need him to do every day, and
God, this sounds oddly specific.
And I think that I'm like, okay, these tasks should take the full day, full work day, right? But I grossly underestimate
it, yeah.
or overestimated.
Well, you gave him too much time, is what I'm saying.
the amount of time these
I mean, the
tasks
person,
take,
not
right?
him. I don't want to say.
So, and this is the problem with employee-boss relationship. So the employee's like, I finished all my tasks for my day, so now I'm doing my own things because what am I going to do? Just F off and do nothing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, now I'm doing other things.
Well, we had that here, but luckily everybody that worked here felt the need to be like, well, we're getting out here early. I'll stay and work on some stuff, you know?
Yeah.
We've never had that issue.
Well, so I feel like that's what companies are
Yeah.
dealing with now, where they realize, like, oh, the work that I expected from you per day, it doesn't really even take a full day. You're getting it done fast, super efficient, because you don't need to draw it out like you used to do here. You know,
Well, are you paying for the work or are you paying for the time? Right? Isn't that the question?
Yes, I got a good example. When I used to work at Champ Sports, which I saw the other day when I was at the mall,
Yeah.
right? I remember
You didn't miss it, did you?
my only job was to get, like, on a Tuesday, all the shipment of shoes would come in through
Yeah.
FedEx, and they drop them off in, like, the tunnels on the outside of the mall, whatever, or in between stores.
Yeah.
So they'd load
Back
them
where
up
the
there.
bathrooms are.
I would check to make sure all the shipment was right, and then check it off, and then load the shipment in the back room, and then take the shoes out of the boxes and put them on the shelf.
Gotcha.
That was my job. And each week, all of it had to be done, right? And I remember asking my manager at the time, because then I would take my time, do it slowly, whatever. And I'm like, I could do this way faster. I remember one time I got finished. Like, I was like, how fast could I do this?
Oh, I love a good challenge.
And
yeah.
I
My
got-
daughter's at that age now where everything is time me.
And I busted my ass, and I got done 3 hours early.
Nice.
And then so I remember I was like, oh, well, I could do this way faster. And then I'm like, this is my job. This is what they pay me to do. So I was like, I remember asking the manager, I was like, well, if I get this done early, like, can I leave?
Yeah, can I go to the food court?
Or, I'm just like, leave home.
Yeah.
Like, I finished my job.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, your schedule is, till 8 p.m. at night or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you get done early. You have to stay.
But how
late.
would you regulate it right? Like, I guess what they're trying to... Okay, let's say everybody did that at a company. Everybody was just like, hey, if you get your stuff done, you're good. Like,
Yeah.
what's the detriment to that?
Well,
There's got to be a the reason I'm asking that is there's got to be a reason why we're sticking with the hourly, like you're on the clock sort of scenario. No.
Well, because then if you look at it, I always, until we became business owners, it would make me mad about how business owners would treat me as an employee, right?
Okay,
Because
I see where you're driving. Yeah.
Because it's always grass is greener, or you see the different
Yeah.
perspectives. So if one of my employees said, like, I got everything done, can I leave early? You pay me, you pay me to do this. I'm thinking, well, now I know you could do more. Right. I want you to do this and another 3 hours of something different.
Right.
And then I, as the employee, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna take my time and stretch this out. And then they're like, all right, well, because they're not gonna force you to work fast.
No,
you know.
can't.
And then I remember when I got, Vince Taylor, when he came in, he started like busting his ass, doing shipments and stuff. And that's when I thought, slow down, buddy. Like, what are you in a rush
It
for?
reminds me of like
we're
a
stuck
reverse American History X scene where like Guy Torrey and Edward Norton, or you know what I mean? Like I feel like you and Vince had that like American History X, like laundry room kind of a shoe store vibe.
And so it's working faster and more efficiently doesn't really help me as the employee, because now I just have to do more stuff and I don't get to go home. There's no incentive for me. And so that's the company's fault for not offering an incentive to work fast and efficiently. And
Right.
they're just saying, like, there's no, do it at your time, whatever, as long as even if you don't finish or whatever. I don't know.
It's funny, the chat room, EJ says, I wonder why Tom lost all of his employees. EJ, you realize when you say that, you're also insulting me. Right? You get that, right?
And we only had 3.
Yeah. And I don't think they left for that reason. I mean, my God, man.
Yeah. Believe me, our employees had it easy.
Yeah. Oh,
we're
trust
not
me.
a slave
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah, we're pretty, as far as like not holding you to the fire, we're pretty good bosses. We're the non-fire holding bosses. And if you get your work done and you ask for the rest of the day,
we're
probably going to get it.
Yeah, because I
don't think we ever not gave it.
I always lean towards just, if you get it done fast, that's your
Get outta
incentive to
here.
leave.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like I'd rather you than waste time and do it slow just so you could work out the hours. That doesn't make any sense. But now we live in a world where a lot of people work at home, and there's this new thing like overemployment where you're getting two full-time jobs because you could do them both from home. And then now, which I don't know how, like, I guess you could have as many full-time jobs as you want, but what if you're like claiming, 120 hours of work a week because it only takes you 80? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I mean, mechanics do this. Like, my buddy's a mechanic. There's jobs like so
But you know what it takes. The normal person, you know what it takes you.
Well, billing hours, like if you're a mechanic, there's like you have a transmission overhaul, whatever. That's like 17 and a half hours of billing hours, right?
Yeah.
You can get it done in half that time and
Sure.
still get paid the 17. That's how you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And as long as you do it correctly, you could bill an insane amount of hours because technically
But
here,
that's the experience
yeah.
of being able to do it a little faster than the other guys.
And like sales jobs, like the more you sell, the more you make in commission. Like that's why commission jobs always made more sense to me in my brain, and I've always been more attracted to
My dad loved commission jobs.
because you're in charge of your own pay.
He liked it. But it stressed you the hell out.
Well, it depends on how.
He lived and died by it. I mean, he loved it, but he liked being in control of, like,
how much money you make.
Yeah, do I want to make a ton of money? Well, I will bust my ass, and that's what he did.
Yeah,
And there's really no end. To
yeah.
it. Do you want to work into the night? Do you want to, like, you can do it.
You can sell as much as you want. Because the
Correct.
company, they're like, I don't care.
Stop you, yeah.
You're just getting a portion of the money you're
they
making.
They get the bigger cut.
Yeah,
They get the bigger cut for sure.
So, and, it allows you to work slower if you want, because the company's like, whatever. It's like, I like that type of job.
Now, on the
more
flip
than-
of that, I'm sitting here saying that my father loved commission jobs. He did. In fact, I think it was the only jobs he ever worked. In fact, when he retired, when he still went back to work at Husqvarna selling their products and concrete saws and stuff like that, he was still getting commission selling that. He liked that because he's a good salesman. So he knew his strengths. It's funny though, like, I've never had, and he told me he didn't want me to have a commission-based job. He did not want me to be a salesman at all. No, sir.
I know there's people that are doing this. I just haven't met them yet, and I've met a couple people that did this a little bit.
Bisexual people?
No, the work from home people that are young enough, they don't have kids, and they can just go and get an Airbnb for a month or 2 months.
That's what my buddy Dave's doing now.
In different locations, and then your office is wherever your laptop is, and you can live wherever because
Dave and his wife have a company, and that's where they work, and then they have their computer equipment, they take it with them, and now that's their new job.
Because that seems so much more valuable than a normal job that it's like, to me, in my mind, it's worth like $50,000 extra to be able to be wherever you want. I know some people aren't like that, but it's like,
well, also
that's
you can
so awesome.
You can also move, be wherever you want.
Live wherever
you can move it. So there's no such thing as not being in a place that you don't want to be, because you just go to a place you want to be in.
Live for 4 months in Seattle. Live in Maine for just check out the experience living in awesome places. And find a place you really like, you want to settle down.
Now, I'm sure it's extremely difficult to do it because there's logistics and, I don't know, consistency of internet or whatever. I'm sure there are limitations to make it difficult. But, yeah, it does sound cool.
Yeah, and it just allows you so much freedom that because...
Chat room is saying, this is from Jen in the chat room, and this is interesting. Yeah, some companies, she said, Geico wouldn't allow us to do that. They track the VPN. So, like, some places aren't going to want you to do, I guess with your example, you're giving an example of a
vacation.
Well, you're giving an example of a company that doesn't care. I kind of think Andrea's company is like that. I think my wife's company is very much on, you just do your job. We don't care where you're at.
Yeah, as long as you get it done.
As long as you're getting it done, which I think you're going to see more of. I think that's coming.
But then if I'm the boss and I know my employees, they're like on a ski vacation, but they're still technically getting their job done, I'm like, I'm like, you're
but it's not going to ever bother you. It would bother me. You're not the type of person to let it bother. I am the type of person to for that to be under my skin more than you.
Yeah, but it would be for different reasons. It would make you mad because you would think that they are
not giving 100%.
Are attack or this is an insult to you.
It's an insult to our company.
To me, it just shows me that you're the amount of work that your job entails is not enough.
You. Yeah.
You need more. Yeah, you need a challenge. Yeah. You need to be working 3 times.
We shouldn't be saying our business. Why are we airing this out? Now anybody
this
we
is the
work
problem.
with, now if I'm talking to old merchman, and I'm like, I think you need a challenge. And he's like, I heard you say this. You idiot.
No. Well, it's nothing to do with I'm talking more of a bigger corporate.
Around.
No, but even with the Geico thing, I'm sure you could hide it. With VPN.
If you have to use their software, I would say no.
Yeah,
if you're logging in through Geico's interface, you're probably locked into whatever they have. They're a massive company.
Now, what if you just what's that where you log in from another computer to your computer?
Oh, remote in? I do that all the time here.
Like, could you just?
I did that last night. We had a file that was wonky, so I remoted in from here and threw it back into the Dropbox.
Could you just go wherever you want, remote into your home desktop, and then pretend to work from there? And
Well, technically, you are working from that desktop.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like when
yeah,
I
yeah.
remote in here and shut things down, you'll see the mouse moving and everything. It's like a ghost. It's like the ghost.
Yeah.
It's like the old Sam Darnold ghost. I'm there clicking away, doing it.
I love finding ways to cheat corporations. I'm not joking. It's my favorite thing. Like, and it's not
Even if it's our own corporation. I'm at my house logging in.
no. That one gets me. Every time I try to cheat ourselves, I'm like, ah. But
Yeah, Jay's saying that for his, it's too slow to work efficiently off remotely. But I'll tell you, mine is not. I use a thing called Remote PC, and I kid you not. I have logged in from the kitchen table at my house just because I'm too lazy to drive one street over and edited a piece of audio from this computer at my, at breakfast. And then exported it out.
it's more fun for me to find a way to cheat than it is. I remember.
Yeah, it's selfish. You're taking away my joy.
Well, I remember spending days figuring out how to cheat on my SATs, and I remember people were telling me, like, just study. You do, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. It's
Jay's doing like CAD work and stuff. Yeah, I can see that being a lot.
I'm going to try to convince my sons, if it's still remote work, I imagine will still be a thing.
Well,
and,
work won't even be a thing.
yeah,
What are we doing?
Everything
You
will,
don't need to work. I'm lounging, remote lounging.
yeah, everything will be some sort of.
I want that universal income, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Well, that's when AI takes everything. It's like you have to pay.
Here is your money.
You have to pay your citizens because there's no way to keep the economy going because there's no job. The computers.
That's when you release the oil and you burn them alive.
All right, we will see you tomorrow.
All right, nice, very good.
Our kids probably will see a universal income.
You think so?
I
haven't read enough about it to weigh in on it.
From what people smarter than me say, they can't see a world that AI is not going to take the majority of jobs that humans were doing before, and there's not going to be enough jobs for humans. So it'll essentially, and then you have to spread around money and have people pay back into our economy for it to run. So what else are you going to do? When like people are like, there are no jobs. Corporations, they've eliminated, all these positions because they could just have AI do it. And so you need these people contributing, buying groceries, paying their bills for our society to run. So you got to pay them something so they could put it back into.
Most people disagree, but I don't know enough about it to weigh in. And I got to pee.
In the chat room?
Yeah, Kupo says, no, the fuck they won't. Our kids will see fire rain from the sky and the earth split before they will see UBI. EJ says, they're not going to let us retire. There's no fucking way we get universal income.
Well, based on what? First, EJ doesn't know nothing. And AI could do your job easily, EJ. You put numbers on documents.
I got to pee. Do you want to argue with them more? Or I can leave it on if you want to argue with them. Do you want to? Okay, I'll leave it on. Do you want to go or leave it on?
Well, hold on. I can't see to argue
You
with
gotta
him.
go get your glasses. But he can't be seen with his glasses on because he's too vain to show you.
No, even with glasses, I won't be able to see. Hold on. Let me read it. What are they saying? What do they know?
Okay, you got CD Sarah. We can't even give people enough food stamps now. A certain segment of people will call it freeloading.
No, I know people will be mad about it. I'm not
It
telling you
ain't
that.
happening, old man.
Old man, this is a young man thing. Opinion.
I love you, Tom. It depends on how much longer the internet will last.
What do you mean?
Kupo says we can't even get health care. What makes you think we're getting UBI?
Yeah, because the government needs its citizens to put money back into the economy. Like, you start crashing the fucking economy, like everybody gets affected. So it's like you need this machine running, and you got to get money into the machine out there. I mean, that's why they're fucking. That's why they did what are the disbursements during COVID and shit.
Go Surfing instead says we can't even fund Social Security. that we've paid into our whole life. How are we going to be giving away free money? EJ says, Tom, when did you get your doctorate in political science?
No, it's logic. If there's not enough jobs for humans to have, what the hell else are you gonna do?
And then Disney.
You can't just have a bunch of people unemployed. They can't put money back into our system we built.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna argue with these guys, but
I love it.
all right, guys. Good luck with universal health care coming at you.
Not healthcare, income. I'm in the future.
Coming.
I'm not saying
Universal income coming at you,
50
and
years.
healthcare and aliens. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.